Any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Other reports and papers? Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I lay upon the table in terms of Rule 222 of the Standing Rules and Orders, reports of the Auditor General on the accounts of the Office of the President for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, municipality of Hens Bay for the financial year ended 30 June 2023, Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, Town Council of Autapi for the financial year ended 30 June 2022, Town Council of Rundu for the financial years ended 30 June 2018, 2019 and 2020, Municipality of Swakopmund for the financial year ended 30 June 2023, Village Council of Tsanti for the financial years ended 30 June 2021 and 2022, Regional Council of the Zambezi region for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, Regional Council of the Kavango East region for the financial years ended 31st March 2020 and 2021, New Era Publications Corporation for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, Government of Namibia for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, follow-up performance audit on the management and control of marine and inland fisheries resources within the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources for the financial years 2020-21, financial year 2021-2022, and financial year 2022 and 2022-2023. And Auditor General report on the Social Security Commission and associated funds, that is Social Security Commission, Maternity Leave, Sick Leave, and Death Benefit Fund, Employees Compensation Fund, and Development Fund for the financial year ended 29 February 2024. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, may the Honorable Minister please table the reports. Notices of questions? Notices of questions? Notices of motions? Yeah, or report. Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, in compliance with Section 15 and 116 of the Electoral Act, Act number 5 of the year 2014, I lay upon the table for discussion on the 17th of September, the year 2025, the performance assessment and post-election report for the Guinas constituency by-election that was held on the 17th of January 2025. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
May the Honorable Deputy Speaker please table the report. Any further reports and papers? Okay, notices of questions? Is this today's list? I have a long list already. Is that so? Honorable Kalangula?
Thank you, Patriot Speaker.
What is the reason?
What did he say?
She's not complaining.
What did he say?
She's not complaining.
How is that?
The speaker is not complaining.
Okay, point of order, Honorable Kalangula. Honorable Kalangula, point of order. Point of order. May you please
All right.
But Speaker is not
Honorable
complaining.
Werikwa.
James.
Let's go for the rules.
Cite the rule.
Come on.
Cite the rule.
Thank you very
Citation.
much, Honorable Speaker.
On what rule is the
Honorable Speaker, am I
honorable member
protected?
rising?
Honorable Speaker, can I proceed? Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
It was said here yesterday,
Honorable Ampanda, you are out of order.
Honorable Speaker, I'm experiencing a situation whereby I requested earlier that we need to introduce breathalyzers. The reason of introducing breathalyzers is when members are displaying symptoms that are unparliamentary, that would indicate that there is a substance of some kind.
Honorable
Number one. Number two, on a member dancing on the floor. The other one, yesterday there was a member that actually vehemently, unconditionally, fought back a word called comrade or honorable friend. And that member continued to do so, and we have actually agreed to say that indeed, you are not my friend. It is unparliamentary, it's unruly that the head of the National Assembly is being called patriot. A patriot is a
did the
connotation
honorable
of
member-
a political
what did the
affiliation and
honorable-
association. This is a misrepresentation of your persona and your affiliation. Can that be withdrawn unconditionally?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Werikwa. I actually didn't hear what the honorable member said. So, Honorable Kalangura, did you refer to the presiding officer as patriot?
Honorable Speaker, I did do so, and I feel if the courtesy, and we have to show that fairness in this house, you are always referred to as Comrade Speaker. But according, can I just continue, Speaker?
Okay, let's wait.
Speaker, can I perhaps continue? Am I protected?
Okay.
Am I protected?
Explain please before I rule.
There is a member on the floor.
Okay, can you?
According to Rule 8.2,
8-2.
members must refer to each other in respectful terms. No member shall call another member directly by his or her name, but may refer to him or her as the honorable member. I do not see any comrade, especially to the Speaker, and I need to remind this House, the moment you are referred to as Comrade Speaker, then you do not represent the whole House. Then it is only a Comrade Speaker. You need to be referred to as Honorable Speaker in respect of this House, in according to the rules of this House.
Okay, may I rule now, honorable members? I would like to rule now. You may take a seat, just 1 minute, so that I can rule. Oh, he's already on the floor, honorable member. Yeah, he's already on the floor. Let me rule. You know, the intention of the rule is to prevent a situation where we may address each other in ways that are not respectful. Right. You know, like referring to someone in a manner that is offensive to them. And therefore we come with a standard word, honorable member. So let's stick to that one. But I don't think that it would be appropriate for me to call somebody to order. For example, if they say my brother, Honorable Kalangura, that's not offensive. Unless if the honorable member say, I don't want to be referred in that way. Then in that case, I will have to call upon the member to stick to the official designation.
Correct.
Now, Honorable Kalangura, if there were no members of any political party in Namibia that refer to each other as patriots, I would not have a problem. Yeah, like if somebody finds me outside there and say Madam Sarah Kugongerwa is a Namibian patriot, I'm not going to, you know, to have a challenge.
No.
But let me finish, honorable members. I'm ruling if first. No, you can come later, honorable. You cannot interrupt the ruling. Yeah. So because now here, but here, you can refer to me as honorable speaker. I don't have a problem. I see that many people refer me to speaker. I note that, but I don't really complain. Yeah, some of them would even say I must withdraw if I refer to them without saying honorable. Yeah, So, like I have said, the rules are saying we refer to each other as honorable members.
Correct.
And I think we can stick to that. But Honorable Karangura, you cannot say if somebody calls me Honorable Speaker, you should also call me any other thing. Okay, can we go now to your
You
question?
set the tone, Speaker.
No,
You should
no,
set the tone, Speaker.
No, the first one was Honorable Thomas. I will only give the two. Yeah, Honorable Thomas first, Honorable Klute, you were last. The Honorable. Yeah. Only 1 minute, please, honorable members, so that we get to the program. Let's not waste too much time on these things. Yeah, 1 minute, Honorable Thomas.
Then I just want to maybe also to have a clarity on this matter. Because a comparateness and the patriotness is an English word.
Yes.
What I'm saying now, there is no in dictionary saying this comradeship and then the patriotship must only be called in a certain political party.
Well, thank you, honorable member. Thank you. Please take your seat. The last one.
I want to add a bit, because here I also said, okay, now I want to give this motion to my relative or to my sister or brother. Is that also prohibited in this house? Thank you.
Okay, I will answer. Honorable member, you are the last one on that one, please.
Honourable Speaker, I want to refer you to the Standing Rules and Orders, the previous version, before this one. In that Standing Rules and Orders, there was provision made for the word comrade to be used as a manner to address people in Parliament. That rule has since been scrapped. So the question stands, if it has been scrapped and the new rules came out without that provision, does that not say that we are not supposed to use it? That's the one thing. And then the other thing, with all respect, Honourable Speaker, you've been on that side for very long. So I also think it will help you to be reminded to be less biased if you aren't referred to as your party titles. Thank you.
Yeah, honourable members, thank you very much. Honourable members, some of the queries you have raised, I have addressed. I have agreed, I have confirmed that the rules require us to refer to each other as honourable this MP. But I have indicated that it doesn't add any value if a member refers to another member, my sister, honourable so. I cannot interrupt and say, no, you cannot say my sister. But if that member who was referred to as my sister says, no, I'm not your sister, as it happened, don't refer to me in that way, then I'm obliged as a presiding officer to say, no, the formal designation by which we refer to each other is honourable member. You see, I think that has explained. So if a patriot will so refer to another member as honourable patriot, I will not interrupt to say, no, don't say it, because it's not insulting. You see, I think we can make things easy, really. Yeah, can we proceed, please? I think there was somebody asking a question. Yeah. Okay. Now, notices of questions? Honourable Karangura, yes. Honourable Karangura.
Am I protected, Speaker?
Yes, you are protected. A belated happy birthday. Honourable Karangura,
Okay,
a belated
thank you,
happy
Honourable
birthday.
Speaker.
Honourable Karangura.
I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 18th of September 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Works and Transport the following questions. Honourable Minister, in absentia, of course, as you say, Namibia, through the executive branch, is reportedly planning to relaunch a national airline by late 2026, next year, distinct from the liquidated Air Namibia. The government was reported to have allocated 20 million for feasibility study, which was expected to be completed by June 2025, and an expression of public-private partnership, PPP, set for finalization by August 2026. Now, Honorable Minister, in absentia, it is based on this background that I now ask the following questions. Can the Honorable Minister confirm if a feasibility study was done? Who conducted the studies? When was it conducted? How much was it paid for? And how different is it from the Air Namibia previous reports? Number two, how many Namibian aviation experts are involved? And what are the credentials and their history in the Namibian aviation space? Number three, and lastly, if there is a committee in place, who are its members? And why is the composition and progress of this establishment of a new airline kept a secret? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. May the honorable member please table the question. I call upon Honorable Hishono.
Oral question, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, okay. Then Honorable Hangula.
Notice of motion. No,
Oh, it's a notice of motion.
Motion, yes.
Oh, okay. Honorable Lutuhezi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on Tuesday, the 9th of September 2025, I'll ask the Honorable Minister of Finance and Social Grants, Honorable Erika Shafuda, the following. Honorable Speaker, it was reported that NAMPOST will take over the distribution of social grants in Namibia starting from 1 October 2025, replacing the current contractor, Ipupa Investment Technology, which will cease operations on 3rd September 2025. Grant beneficiaries will now collect their payments from the nearest NAMPOST office or through NAMPOST mobile outreach services. However, it has emerged that the Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare allegedly found that about 65 million in cash-based grant funds handled by NAMPOST was unaccounted for and it's owed back to the state as reported by the Windhoek Observer newspaper. I rise to ask the Honorable Minister the following questions. In view of the constitutional obligation to ensure transparency and accountability in the management of public resources, and in light of recent reports alleging financial discrepancies, may the Honorable Minister confirm whether an amount of 65 million is indeed missing? Sure. If so, could the Honorable Minister explain the circumstances that led to this shortfall? Indicate the steps being taken to recover the funds and outline measures that are being implemented to prevent the recurrence. Furthermore, mindful of the previous incidents involving the missing 65 million, may the Honorable Minister clarify what specific preventative measures, oversight mechanisms, and financial controls have been instituted to ensure that the current and future funds do not suffer a similar fate. Question 2. The objectives of the Public Procurement Act of 2015, Act number 15, are to promote integrity, accountability, transparency, and efficiency in government procurement, as well as to facilitate the empowerment of Namibian businesses. In accordance with this act, which seeks to ensure transparency, fairness, value for money, and accountability in the acquisition of goods and services, may the Honorable Minister clarify whether any competitive bidding process was undertaken in the decision to acquire services of NAMPOST. Furthermore, Could the Honorable Minister explain how this decision was reached and provide reasons why the standard procurement procedures were bypassed, if indeed they were, in light of the objectives of the Act? And finally, as NAMPOS plans to deploy mobile teams to serve remote rural areas, may the Honorable Minister indicate what specific plans and measures are in place to ensure that permanent NAMPOS outlets remain accessible in remote rural areas so that citizens can conveniently access the funds and address other services related to this and other inquiries. I so submit.
May you please table the questions to the member? Can the member please table the questions? I now recognize Honorable Kandorodu.
Thank you so much, Shira, Speaker.
Now what does that one mean? Honorable Kandorodu, you'll be required at least to translate.
Okay, can I translate?
Yes, please.
Can I translate?
Yes.
Shiramwe. Meaning Shiramwe. Meaning what? Meaning Shiramwe. Is he a speaker?
Okay, Honorable
You are not in
Speaker.
Ashodonjupa, this is Parliament. Okay, Honorable Speaker,
That's better.
let me amplify what have been already questioned to the Minister of Finance and Social Grants. They say what is between the teeth concern the tongue. NAMPOS. The Ministry of Finance has awarded the tender to NAMPOS to render cash payment services for basic state grants and allowances, reportedly worth over 5 billion annually, translating to over 25 billion over a 5-year period. My submission, honorable members, is made in the interest of accountability, transparency and public confidence in the procurement and oversight of the state funds, particularly in programs meant to serve the most vulnerable members of our society. The background and context of the tender process and public expectations. On 15 August 2024, the Central Procurement Board of Namibia closed the tender for procurement of services for distribution of basic state grants and allowances. Intend to cover a 5-year period. It is understood that on 10th September 2024, Central Procurement Board communicated to bidders that all submissions were deemed not responsive. On 3rd October 2024, Central Procurement Board formally cancelled the tender as per the provisions of the Public Procurement Act. I understand that the Ministry of Gender reportedly communicated to bidders that the tender will be reissued, which created a legitimate expectations that the opportunity will be re-advertised publicly, ensuring continued transparency and equal participation. However, it has now emerged without any new public tender process that the Ministry of Finance has awarded this mandate directly to NAMPOS, despite the previous tender process having been cancelled. It is understood that the Ministry of Finance justified this decision on ground that moving these services from private company to NAMPOS will result in cost saving over 58 million. However, the basis and methodology of these savings calculations remain undisclosed, and more importantly, the decision raises question about whether cost savings alone should justify bypassing a new transparent public procurement process, whether the claimed savings are real or mere speculative, particularly when other risks such as lack of financial accountability may outweigh the projected saving. The reported cost saving with prior financial discrepancies underscore the imperative of rigorous oversight before signing non-post responsibility for large-scale public funds disbursement. This issue becomes even more pressing in light of ongoing high-profile corruption cases involving public enterprises and government administrators who acted under various pretexts only for those decisions to later be revealed as self-serving or corruption. Concerns, accountabilities, and financial stewardship. Reports indicate that NAMPOST currently has over 100 million in unclaimed grant funds that remain unaccounted for. This raises an important question. How can the Ministry of Finance entrust NAMPOST with managing over 5 billion annually when there are unresolved concerns about financial oversight and reconciliation of previous disbursement of grants? Lack of transparency. The decisions to award a multi-billion-dollar service contract to NAMPOST outside the new competitive bidding process raises serious concern regarding the Ministry of Finance, Compliance and Public Procurement Act. In light of the above, I respectfully ask the Minister of Finance the following questions. Request a full explanation from the Ministry of Finance regarding the basis and justification for awarding this contract directly to NAMPOST without a new tender process. Demand transparency regarding how the Ministry ensure compliance with the Public Procurement Act, especially sections related to fairness, competitiveness, and value for money. Call for full investigation by ACC into NAMPOST's current handling of unclaimed grant funds. The decision-making process behind the award measured to ensure future compliance and accountability. Consider convening a public committee hearing on public account and finance to hear from the stakeholder, include Central Procurement Board, Ministry of Gender, Ministry of Finance, and affected bidders. Finally, allow the current service provider to continue managing the distribution of grants in the interim, ensuring no disruption of payments to vulnerable recipients and maintaining continuity while due diligence is carried out. Please convince the public why should they trust the entity that has misappropriated public funds to continue managing public funds while they are not cleared of any wrongdoing. I so submit.
Thank you. Can the Honourable Member please table the questions? I now recognize, is it a point of order, Honourable? Yes.
Speaker, I think yesterday you reminded this House on the timing and the time that one should use per question. I'm really concerned about the time that we spend on these questions. Okay, can we please make use of that time? The timer, I want to say the timer, so that he directs us when it comes to these questions. Thank you, Speaker.
Yes, thank you, Honourable Member. You have a point. I request the Secretariat to kindly please monitor the time, because the duration of the length of the question would also influence the length of the response, and we will struggle to comply with the rules. Yes, now I recognize Honourable Mvula.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Good afternoon. Well, Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 11th of September 2025, I shall ask the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy, Honourable Natangwe Ithete in absentia today, the following questions. The so-called green hydrogen project has been presented as Namibia's ticket to prosperity, yet the manner in which it is being advanced raises deep concerns of sovereignty, ownership, and justice. The project is largely driven by European capital, European energy demands, and European climate targets, while Namibians themselves are left with little clarity on what direct benefits they will derive. We risk becoming a neo-colonial laboratory where our land, our water, and our people's future are traced or traded cheaply in order to fuel Europe's industrial transition. This transition is designed to secure their prosperity while we remain trapped in the periphery of underdevelopment. It is unclear under which laws this massive project is being regulated. Parliament has not debated or enacted a dedicated hydrogen act to govern the sector. Communities whose land and resources are being earmarked for use have not been meaningfully consulted. Contracts and agreements are shrouded in secrecy, while the promise of jobs and empowerment of Namibians remains vague and unsubstantiated. In this regard, I ask the Honourable Minister the following. Why is the green hydrogen project being advanced without a dedicated legislative framework, passed by this Parliament, and under which laws is the government purporting to regulate such a strategic national resource? 2, why is Namibia prioritizing Europe energy transition goals over the urgent development needs of our people, of our own people, including affordable, or rather access to affordable energy, industrialization, and employment? And what steps are being taken to ensure that Namibia is not reduced to a mere supplier of raw hydrogen to Europe? Next, what guarantees exist to protect the rights of Namibian communities whose land, water, and livelihoods are impacted by this project or can be impacted by this project? And why have local people not been placed at the center of decision-making, ownership, and benefit sharing? How does the government justify the large-scale allocation of land and water resources for the benefit of foreign operations, and have full and independent environmental assessment been made public so that the Namibians can judge for themselves what the ecological costs of this project would be? Finally, why are the contracts, financing agreements, and partnership deals around the green hydrogen hidden from the people of Namibia? And what mechanisms will be put in place to ensure transparency, independent auditing, and parliamentary oversight over this project, rather than leaving it in the hands of the few elites and foreign investors? I so submit.
Thank you. Can the honourable member please table the questions? Can the honourable member please table the questions? Thank you. I now recognize Honourable Ehub. Am I close?
Yes. Thank you so much, Speaker. Honourable Speaker. Words have life, and words can produce power. So I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 11th September 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Works and Transport, Honourable Veiko Nekundi, the following questions. The Ministry of Works and Transport recently issued a directive giving e-hailing companies, including Yango, Lefa, InDrive, and others, until 30 September 2025 to remove all unlicensed drivers from their platforms or risk being labeled as facilitators of illegal operations. This action highlights long-standing regulatory and safety concerns around e-hailing services in Namibia. While these platforms provide affordable and convenient transport options, they also raise issues of compliance with the road Traffic and Transport Act 1999, public safety, the protection of citizens' personal data, and fair competition within the transport sector. The deadline further raises questions about enforcement, legal certainty, and long-term policy position of the Ministry regarding digital ride services. In this regard, Honourable Minister, in your absence, I'd like to ask the following questions. Whether the Ministry has verified the number of unlicensed drivers currently operating on e-hailing platforms such as Yango and Lifa, and what mechanisms are in place to ensure full compliance with respect to the 30 September deadline. What enforcement measures will be taken against e-hailing companies that fail to remove unlicensed drivers by the stipulated deadline, and whether such companies will face sanctions, suspension, or outright prohibition from operating in Namibia? What safeguards are being implemented to protect passengers using e-hailing services, particularly in cases where unlicensed or unvetted drivers are still active on these platforms, and how liability will be allocated in cases of accidents or criminal incidents? Whether the Ministry has examined the extent of personal and financial data collected from Namibian citizens by e-hailing companies, especially foreign-owned operators, and what measures are in place to ensure that data is stored, processed, and protected in compliance with Namibia's laws and in anticipation of the forthcoming Data Protection Bill. Lastly, what long-term policy and legislative framework the Ministry intends to adopt to regulate e-hailing services as part of Namibia's broader public transport system, and whether the Ministry has considered integrating these services formally into transport planning alongside with protections for traditional taxi operators to ensure that there's fair competition and sustainable job creation. I so submit.
Thank you. The Honourable Member may now propose the questions. I recognize Honourable Swartboy.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 11 September 2025, I shall ask the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy, Honourable Natangu Itheta, the following questions. The diamond industry has long been a cornerstone of Namibia's economy, contributing significantly to government revenue. And in recent years, however, the global diamond industry has witnessed a rapid rise of synthetic or laboratory-grown diamonds. These products manufactured through advanced technological processes are increasingly competing with natural diamonds in the international jewelry market. I therefore ask the following questions. One, whether the Ministry has conducted an assessment of the impact of synthetic diamonds on Namibia's diamond sector and its revenues, both in the short term and long term, and if so, what the findings reveal about the sustainability of our natural diamond market. Number two, what approaches the Ministry has put in place or intends to put in place to protect consumers in Namibia and abroad from the misrepresentation of synthetic diamonds as natural diamonds, and whether the Ministry is considering a distinct certification system to preserve the integrity of Namibian diamonds. Three, what projections the Ministry has made regarding the potential decline in government revenue due to the rise of synthetic diamonds, and whether fiscal risk mitigation strategies have been developed to address possible reductions in taxes and export earnings from natural diamonds. Four, what plans the ministry has to protect jobs in Namibia's diamond mining, cutting, polishing, and beneficiation industries in the event that synthetic diamonds reduce international demand for natural diamonds, and whether the ministry is pursuing diversification strategies for the sector. 5, whether the ministry has engaged Namibia's diamond partners, including De Beers and other stakeholders, as well as other regional and continental bodies, to develop a coordinated strategy that defends the competitiveness and the value of Namibia's natural diamonds against laboratory-generated diamonds. I so submit. Honourable Speaker, I have another question.
Yes, you may pose the other set of questions.
I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 11 September, I will ask the Minister of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, Honourable Sanet Steenkamp, the following question. The Government of Namibia has approved the extension of the Robert Harper Quay in Lüderitz as part of developing green hydrogen, which would impact the heritage site of the former Shark Island concentration camp, where crimes, in particular genocide, were committed against the Nama and the Ovaherero ethnic groups in Deutsch Southwest Africa between 1904 and 1908. The planned seaport expansion will entail underwater dredging, where the bodies of former camp inmates were thrown, and building over unmarked sites of graves of former camp inmates, which, according to archaeological and archival research, are scattered across the outskirts of Lüderitz. I therefore ask, what action will the ministry take to implement and ensure compliance with the Heritage Council's recommendations, in particular those that oppose the expansion of the port, and to what will be the designation of the area of Shark Islands following the so-called port expansion, if it goes through? And 3, what measures has the ministry initiated with respect to 1, the conservation of Shark Island as a site of education for future generations; B, the appropriate memorialization of Shark Island as a site of world heritage and historic significance; C, ensuring that both the ministry and the Namibian public are at large, or at large heritage resources at Shark Island due to the intended port expansion. And finally, what measures the Council, which is the Heritage Council, intends to introduce to exercise control over the site of Shark Islands and to prevent the injudicious treatment and use of this facility. I so submit, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. May now Honourable Member take the questions. I now recognize Honourable Kambala.
Honourable Speaker, might I get an oral question?
Oh, okay, can we first
finish.
hear the written questions, please? I recognize the Right Honourable Prime Minister. He's not in. Then we proceed. I recognize Honourable Thomas. Did the Honourable Thomas ask for the floor?
Yes. Thank you. Stand here. Yes. I've got 2 notice of question to pose. First one, I rise here that I shall give notice that on Thursday, September 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Information, Communication, Technology, Honourable my sister, Minister Emma Theophilus, the following. Thank you. It was discovered that there is network problem in the following villages of Mahango, Omega 3, Cheto, and the quadrocore areas, which are placements 290 kilometers from Rundu to Mbwambwata National Park to Kongola. Unless one sacrifices to climb on the tallest tree in order to access this inadequate network. Imagine a pregnant woman in the care of the grandmother who need urgent help right away, as the nearest assistance is only in Rundu, which is about 264 kilometers, and 260 kilometers to Katimamlilo District Hospital. Without a neat network, people cannot appreciate for the condition they just find themselves in. One cannot live life to the fullest while in the middle of the jungle of Norway. My question to you, my dear sister, Honorable Minister, I hope you are aware of the area I am talking about. I am sure you traveled the same way during the 26th celebration at Katimamlilo. And you know exactly which area I am talking about. As a matter of fact, can you consider this as an urgent need requiring urgent attention from you? I could see that the NAMPower is starting with the electrification of this area. Why can't you, your ministry, coincide in the process and erect the network antenna there? It is already done. Why can't we upgrade? If it is already done, why can't we upgrade the network antenna to access the people's cell phone in order to make the life of the people easy? I so submit. The second one is going to the two ministries. That on Thursday, September 25, 2025, I shall ask the two ministries, or the two ministers, the Minister of Work and Transport on his absentia, and the Minister of Education, Renovation, Youth, Sport, Art, and Culture. I don't know what is so many things. The following. In democratic country, roads are on essential infrastructure. People suffer the most when there is no road infrastructure. The gravel road that tune from Oidimba to Onangolo village just end at the med clinic of Onangolo village. Additionally, there is a school up to grade 10 located about 2 kilometers away from Onangolo Medical Clinic. Teachers with sedans, cars, are compelled to leave their cars in the bush next to the clinic and attempt to walk to school because of the gravel road and the sandy road which stopped, or a gravel road which stopped halfway from school. They occasionally find it difficult to reach the school on time, especially during the rain time. In that manner, when a child is sick at school, they are also compelled to carry that child on their shoulder, to, yeah, that one, to the mediclinic or rent a private vehicle to transport the sick child for 2 kilometers for medication, when it is also fashionable, living in such a situation is very challenging. My question, one, Honorable Minister, do you know what is going on in this, in your ministry? Two, why can't the two ministries come together and discuss, just bring the gravel road up to the school, even if it is not so fashionable? Three, 2 kilometers is very short distance, and it needs a little amount of money for a gravel road to reach the public school. Four, by doing so, it will also spare the life of the learners, even that of the teachers, who have to endure this hardship in this chilly sun and the rain seasons while walking from school to the clinic. Five, it is very difficult for a pregnant teachers, especially, walking the 2 kilometers to and from that school each day and expecting him or her to do to perform is extremely challenging for her. A sick teacher or a student find it difficult to walk 2 kilometers from the school to the clinic as well. Thus, ask the Minister of Education and the Minister of Transport, Work and Transport, to take that circumstances very serious and rescue the life I so submit.
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member, the last question you said you are posing to two ministers. In terms of the rules, you may not pose one question to more than one minister. So I think that the last set of questions, I would have to ask you to reformulate and address to one minister or separate parts that
transport.
Then you will have to amend that, but then you can submit the other questions that are in order.
Let me remove the Minister of Education. Sorry, my sister.
We are changing now with the ink.
With the ink. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
The honourable member may now please table the questions.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Honourable Thomas. I now recognize, I think now it's the oral question, because Honourable Hishono said his question was oral. So I now recognize Honourable Hishono.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for recognizing me. Good afternoon. In my culture, we should always say great. I have one, maybe two oral questions, urgent. Honourable Speaker, it's very scary that on my birthday, 1st June this year, two miners ate something in Kavango-Ndiona constituency and they died. The same month, on the 21st of June, 6 members of one family were also hospitalized after they ate something poisonous. And the most scary part is last year, in Kavango also, 16 members of the same family died from food poisoning. Now, we are reading from the newspapers and the reports that Maria Mwengele Secondary School, a number of learners to 60-something, they ate something poisonous. So I was waiting for my Honorable Minister of Education to say something, because I saw she spoke to the newspaper
and she was supposed to give the report yesterday. I waited, Honorable Minister, patiently, and the nation is reaching a point of pandemonium that how safe are our learners in hostels? And who are these catering contractors that are feeding our children with these things? Please, Minister, say something. I so submit.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Minister of Education, would you like to respond? And I would like to remind us all that oral questions have a total of 20 minutes. So let's try to fit within that time.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Members. Yes, indeed, but we all know what the proceedings of the House was yesterday. That's one. Secondly, the issue has been reported to the Ministry. We have issued a statement. An article was published without the response of the Ministry. There have been various investigations into the matter. There are 33 learners that have been affected. Only 33 learners who apparently, based on the reports, ate leftover food. The menu of mahangu and boerewors was replaced with macaroni and boerewors, to get into the details. And then 11 of these learners were still in a stable condition. All the others have been discharged already. So yes, we are looking into the issues of hygiene. We are looking into the issues of the hostel staff, their training, the protective clothing, the tests that they must undergo, because the hostel staff must also undergo specific tests, and budgetary provisions are made for that. So there is a comprehensive report. We have the report from the principal himself, but also a report from the inspector who went into the school. And then, of course, we are also objectively asking Ministry of Health to come in to see what are the shortcomings that we may have. But what we are looking into right now is also the fact that they say that only those who ate food that stood over were getting sick. And I think it is the issue of the allowance of having children eating leftover food. Maybe that is another issue we need to look into. So thank you very much. It is noted, Honourable Speaker. It is something that the Ministry takes very, very seriously. And therefore we say that even the hostel staff need to comply with the test that they need to take. And we need to comply with the protective clothing and everything that we must provide for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now recognize Honorable Kambala. Okay, you can have one follow-up question, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the follow-up question chance. Today you are very fair with me. I really appreciate that. Thank you, my Honorable Minister, my fellow teacher. It's always a good thing always to assure the nation that we must not panic. The leftover food you mentioned, I say that's negligence and someone must be held accountable, isn't it? The negligence of this leftover. And if the number went to 33, how much was the leftover, you know? And Honorable Minister, you did not touch on if it was a fault of the supplier. Maybe you will answer that when the Minister of Health got there to check if the food was expired or something. And you must, I believe the Honorable Minister must calm the nation not to panic about other hostels. Thank you so much, Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. I wish to respond that indeed, as you said, in Kavango East, the issue of food safety is a major health concern. And I can give you the statistics with over 100 cases, almost 30 deaths recorded in 10 years' time. So what we wish to state is, with these learners' hospitalization, we bring in Ministry of Health 33 learners ate the leftover food. Only 33. So is it an issue that the food stood for too long? It's macaroni. It's not pap. So it's leftover food. That is one. Secondly, we are working with the Rundu District Immediate Hospital and the regional management team of the Ministry of Health to look into what went wrong. Was it our physical facilities? Is it a cold room? Is it a storeroom? If they found anything objectively, obviously, and with our staff members, we are going to act on it. But I want to say that this is a serious matter. We will never intentionally allow anybody to consume food, esteemed members and honorable members, that are not consumable. So we are giving the due attention to the matter. I wish to put reassurance to the nation in this regard. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I now recognize Honorable Ampanda. I see Honorable Kambala's name has moved to the bottom. I don't know why. I see your light is also not flashing anymore. Huh? Maybe you switch it off or something. Huh? Yeah, Honorable Ampanda now has the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I have an urgent oral question to the Minister of Finance. Minister, as we were just walking in here, we saw a statement, a joint statement released by GIPF and OPM on the patient-backed loan. Remember the conversation, the last time the conversation was at a 2.5 repo, that what you have gazetted in there. We were waiting for that response, for that discussion, and in the joint statement there is actually something shocking yet interesting. We've always understood that the purpose of the patient-backed home loan is for people to buy houses in proclaimed or unproclaimed areas, to improve their houses and things like that. And that is also what is confirmed in the statement in the first paragraph, in terms of that. For the construction, the purpose of that 2.5% for purchase of a home or land, construction of new houses, home improvements or renovation to the existing property in urban or rural areas, proclaimed or unproclaimed area across the country. This is Martin Nkumbi now speaking. So what I actually found strange is that in that statement, both Nkumbi and the Secretary to Cabinet says this. The program actually also apparently, the scheme will also enable, listen to this, Minister, the scheme will also enable members to transfer their existing home loans financed by other financial institutions or commercial banks to this new scheme. Okay? And then they go and say, indicate, this is news and a very interesting development, because it means a civil servant by the 12th of January, you can go and relocate your home loan from FNB to Kuleni. This is what has been said here. Then I'm thinking that, oh wow, so we really have a revolution coming in the country. Because not a single civil servant will continue to have their home loans with those commercial banks. This first capital, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, none of my relatives who work for government will continue to do that. Is there a mistake there, Minister? Because this statement just came in now. We thought that there would be, I didn't think that there's actually a housing finance aspect in terms of relocating your mortgage. I understood it with 2020. Is it 2020 or this new institution now that came? Minister, is it, there's something that take over the bonds. I never knew Kuleni is going to do it. I never knew First Capital is going to do it. It's here in this statement. Are you aware of it? Because if it's indeed true, then we have a revolution coming. I don't want to celebrate. I want to hear from you so that you can tell us and the civil servants that are there in the general public that there is going to be a largest. Remember, banks in our country, 50% of their profits come from mortgages. 50% of all of them come from mortgages. Just this, if it's true, if it's confirmed that it's true, it's going to be very interesting. So I invite your response. You can see I'm in a state of shock, Minister. It can only be good news or a terrible, terrible communication by these ones. Thank you.
Yes. Honorable Minister, would you like to respond?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Mpanda. I can really confess that I have not seen the joint statement. I was just coming from my mid-year budget consultations. I did not read any statement. So I want to appreciate what you have read so that I can digest it and try to see if it's consistent with what we have always been saying. So if you give me time for me to see the statement and to consult further, I'll come back. Because I want to understand what is your, I almost said what is your concern, but I want still to understand your question. The gist of the question, thank you, the gist of the question. Because you just said you read something talking to debt being taken over something. I really want to appreciate what the sentence says because I have not read the statement. I shall submit.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Honorable Mpanda, is that okay? Is that okay? Yes. Yes. Yes.
So Speaker, it seems that the minister doesn't mind. It's okay, you can always clarify one. But then put up those ones. Okay. So the minister, there is a joint statement. I'll be very slow. I will not say much. There is a joint statement between GIPF, CEO, and OPM, Secretary to Cabinet. You explained to us this when you told us this good news and when we were celebrating. We've always understood construction of a home, improvement of your house, and things like that, in rural area or urban area, proclaimed or unproclaimed. This statement that was just released by Secretary to Cabinet and GIPF, is that actually the scheme that you announced? Because you didn't tell us that, and it's not our understanding. They are saying and telling the public, and it's also being reported widely, you can actually transfer your bond with other commercial banks. So I can transfer my bond and the house become collateral. I transfer that bond. In other words, this Kuleni and First Capital will take over the bond. So in other words, so it means Kuleni will pay over and take over the bond, and your relationship as far as the bond is concerned is going to be with that institution. Effectively meaning that Kuleni First Capital will become housing finance financing bonds. There is nothing wrong with that, but for me, it's just that it is too good to be true. And I seek your confirmation. It's simply just to say, oh no, there's an addition to the scheme that they can also take over bonds. Because that day, right there, it is a revolution that we will support and agree with, but I don't have the confidence that there is a necessary testicular fortitude for a government to take this decision like it does. So I'm hoping that there's a mistake. So I'm simply just asking for a confirmation. Are these institutions going to take over bonds as is announced? Then we can celebrate, and on your birthday I'll bring you a cow if it's really true. I'm just seeking confirmation, or there must be some mistake somewhere. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Member. I just want to remind us now that we have 4 minutes and 13 seconds for oral questions. Honorable Minister, do you want to respond?
No, thank you very much, Honorable Mpanda, for that clarification. Let me come back. That's the fair response.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I now recognize Honorable, I see, Honorable Kambara, what happened to you? Honorable yeah, okay, you take the floor, please. I think maybe you touch on your gadget or something, because I don't know why.
But today you are working good, so I'm confused. Today you are doing very well, so I'm not in a competitive mood today. It's a question to the Ministry of Gender. I think both the deputy and the minister are here. But I'll direct rather to the head of the ministry, Madam Kamtema. Honorable, my apologies. Earlier today, your deputy minister attended what is termed as the African Widow Summit. Now, as much as we understand the emotion and encouragement that the widows literally need to uplifted and so forth and so forth, one also then wonders about widowers in the country. What happens to our widowers? Because there's commitment made that widows will be, the ministry will ensure that widows reclaim their rightful place in society and so forth. So what we understand then also what happens then to widowers. They also equally need upliftment, they also equally need to be supported. And also seeing now that there has been a high suicide rate amongst men. And we have not seen any much progress in terms of programs, in terms of mental health, specifically targeting young men. So so we are hoping that the ministry could maybe indulge us on such activities, because everybody deserves a shoulder to cry on here and there. So please, our widows are also, some of them are here. So please, can you please just indulge us on what, are we also going to have a national widowers summit to reclaim widowers their rightful place in society, to uplift them, their spirits? Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Minister, before you respond, I just would like to indicate that it's 1 minute left, so now that will be the last oral agent question that we will take for the day. Minister, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member. As I respond to your question, I want to preamble my response as follows. The summit or the conference that you've just referred to, that of the African Widows Association, an event that the Deputy Minister, Honorable Linda Mbwale, made a remark today, was as a response of the request that we have received. So the conference was not initiated by the ministry, but as a ministry, we work with civil society, with NGOs, various organizations that are advancing interests of different members of the society. Now, in this case, that summit or the conference is organized by the Widows Association. But I have to admit, to inform you that when we engaged the delegation that came to our ministry, we did make it clear to them that as a ministry responsible for gender equality, we do not only advance needs and aspiration or assistance for only one gender. We are there to ensure that we provide an equal opportunity for both men and women, boys and girls, in order for them to participate in socio-economic developments, to be afforded assistance. And I also want to remind the members that when I presented the National Gender Equality and Equity Policy, one of the strategies in that policy is the male engagement strategies. To this effect, we have developed a resource toolkit that we will be using when we are providing or creating awareness for our male engagement. I do agree with you. In September, the month of September is in fact a suicide month. And already on Monday, we had a brainstorming session where we intend to have an awareness session in September, just for us to create awareness in terms of this surge that has been experienced so far in terms of the suicide rate. In terms of the statistics, it shows that men are experiencing this more. Therefore, we need to have that targeted interventions. And it should not only come from our ministry, but there are also other various ministries, OMAs, NGOs that are advancing this cause. Honorable Speaker, in short, that's my response.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We have exhausted the time. May we now have a break of 15 minutes? Yes, thank you. So I'm told the time is 20 minutes, so I'll give you the full 20 minutes. We may come back in 20 minutes. Okay. The officials want their 20 minutes. Okay, take a seat, please. Now, where were we? We were at the questions. I beg your pardon? So now we proceed to motions. Any notices of motions? Yes, Honorable Werikwa, you have the floor. Honorable Member.
Honorable Speaker, I stand up today and importantly to my dearest Honorable Minister of Information, I have come across a video of a school teacher in Ochiwarongo. As you might be aware, myself having been a governor of that very region, I've been advocating strongly for education empowerment. But again, our economic outlook is that we must actually go into the sector of diversification.
Okay, Honorable Member, on what point are you raising?
A teacher produces a video that goes on TikTok, and the video went viral. It's 100 million views as we are talking. So I wanted to put to the minister that in terms of that creative industry and entertainment industry, this teacher was never monetized because the person is on TikTok platform as opposed to YouTube. At what point do we as a government come into a space where we actually acknowledge and strengthen and empower it? So I'm putting it to the Honorable Minister. I know there are shadow ministers there, but the shadows that side, can they continue being shadows, please? So the point is that there are many influencers and bloggers out there. Honorable Speaker, I'm advocating for us to come up with a way of how best we can empower and strengthen our influencers, our bloggers. So as a result, I'm putting it to you that, secondly, I'm also rising on the point of privilege.
Honorable Minister.
Rule 73, Speaker, subsection 3. There are dark glasses in this house that are actually...
What point are you rising on? What point are you
Point of privilege. Point of privilege.
Point of privilege?
Yes. Point of privilege.
Okay.
Point of privilege. Am I allowed to speak, Speaker?
Yes, point of privilege. Let me hear what.
Because I only
what is point of, where is the point of privilege?
73, Rule 73, subsection 3A, Roman italics, number 2. I'm having members of parliament who are having dark glasses, so I know that the members are saying, let's ignore it and so on. But somehow we are promoting a culture of mafianism that is actually being parliamentarized, and that is very wrong. A situation whereby individuals have dark glasses to deceive whatever that they have committed over the weekend, and those dark glasses are tantamount to So, Honorable Speaker, please rule on the dark glasses in the Parliament. Otherwise, we all go wrongly, and it won't be looking good.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member, on the dressing code, I would like to remind all the members once more that we are bound to comply with the dressing code. And I would like to emphasize that this is not a requirement of the Speaker, and not complying with it is not defying the Speaker. It's a requirement of the House, and not complying with it is disrespecting the House. So I expect that a person would have special reasons. If a person has a special reasons, because I know somebody maybe went for an eye operation and was told that you should not be in a brightly lit... No, Honorable, in that case, it should be explained. But let us understand that unless if there are special circumstances and there are prior consultations, we are required to comply with the rules of the House. Otherwise, we denigrate really the House. So that is the ruling that I make on that one. But now we were proceeding to, we finished with the notices of questions. Ne? So, no, we finished, it was 20 minutes, Honorable. We have exceeded, we have unfortunately exceeded the time for that. Ne? You can consult the Honorable Minister over a cup of tea. No, over a couple. That's why they have cafeteria there so that we can pass. Okay, now, notices of motions. I see Honorable Hangula. Is that so? Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And just for the record, you know I always wear my clear glasses, but today I forgot them. But these are prescription as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see your face, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I move without notice that the proceedings on the order paper be, in accordance with Standing Rule 159(1), not be interrupted if they are still under consideration today at 17:45. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
What? Okay. Any objections?
I submit.
Huh? Oh, must submit first.
Oh, you are already going to objection. Why don't you say any support?
Okay, any secondment? Okay, can the honorable member table? Apparently the objection must be considered on after that. Yes, honorable members, any objections? Yes, Honorable Popper.
Honorable Speaker, there are standing rules and orders, and we are following orders as it has to be done during the day as we enter. That motion cannot be entertained now, where we are. But besides that, I'm objecting.
He was supposed to consult the witness.
I don't need to explain to you
Okay,
why
so
I'm
I'm advised that a motion of that nature, but I would like maybe Honorable Cooper first to indicate at what point was this supposed to be moved?
At the beginning.
Oh, okay. Now, okay. There is a point also to say there is a requirement of a prior consultations with the whips of all the parties. Has there been consultations? Practice. Yeah. Honorable member, you ask for the floor and you get the floor. Yeah? No, but just ask for the floor. Honorable Ampanta, you can just ask for the floor and make a comment. You know? But there is that another issue, or are you on, is it on this point, Honorable, okay, first, Honorable Venani, on this point, ne?
To really venture into this debate, but as leaders and representative of other people's interests, we must take our work very seriously. I can't believe that we are coming from a recess of 2 months, and the ruling party always introduces extensions without consulting no one. And when we are saying let's do our work, we are saying we are objecting. What are we objecting to? Objecting to do our work, or objecting? Why are we objecting? Because there's nothing to benefit to object a motion that says let's extend time. Unless if you are saying no, there is another activity and ministers are going to cabinet, therefore. But if members of parliament says let's do our work, we are coming on Monday. We are the only workplace where Monday there's no work, Friday there's no work. We should be embarrassed by our conduct. We must be bigger than this thing.
Do you want to talk to this point? Yeah, because we need to resolve this point, whether to approve or not to approve. Yeah. Yeah, somebody has indicated they are objecting. So should we go to divide the house and Are you speaking on this one, Honorable Hangula, on the objection and the question of prior consultations?
Honorable Speaker, I was not really privy to prior consultation. I didn't see it in the, maybe I may be guided as to where exactly it is in the rules. But the order paper is becoming full and full and full, and things are being moved forward. And yesterday we were just complaining about Honorable Minister of Finance. We didn't even finish are engaging on a ministerial statement. So we need to work, and we need to make sure we clear the order paper so that there's space for others. So I move that my motion stands. I so submit.
Point of order. Huh?
Yes, Speaker, on this same request, I would like to refer the House to 159.1 that reads, notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Rule 1551, a member may, at the commencement of a public business, without notice, make a proposal which must be decided without amendment or debate. So I want to underline the commencement, at the commencement of public business. I'm not so sure if the proposal that is brought before the House is rightful, because I think it could have been done at the beginning of the public business. That is my submission.
Honorable members, there is now an objection. There is now an objection. Yeah, okay. First, the Honorable Nashinge did not speak. Honorable Nashinge.
Doing a motion without being asked.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think the best way we can do things as servants of the people here is to find each other. You are objecting, but what is the solution? What is the best way forward? It is correct that we are behind. Look at this. These are just questions. But there is a lot. We are here to work. So we don't do it today. Am I protected? You object, we don't do it today. Fine. What should we what should we do moving forward? I think that's what I want us to have that conversation and say, let us not do it today, let us do it rather tomorrow or on Tuesday, for example, instead of just saying objection. The other thing, especially for us, the younger ones in here, we must be addicted to hard work, and we must also stop the culture of status quo. Just because who says we can't change these rules for a good cause? That's what I'm saying. Don't just say no, it's not right, but to say this should be the best way forward. We agree, but let us address it and do it. Speaker, am I protected?
Yeah, honorable members. Okay, you have the floor. Okay, honorable member, can you please, finish?
Guide us progressively.
Yes,
we want to work.
Okay, I will guide you. I will say that where there is an agreement, we can agree to not disrupt the proceedings of the House. But if there is an objection, we have no other way than to consider the objection and deal with that. Yeah, okay, I will give you the floor. Yes, okay, I will give you the floor. Honorable members, can we please just, I'll give everyone the floor if that's what we want. Yes, yeah. Yes, Honorable Katamelo, please.
Okay, Speaker, I think the rules emanate that the rules must work for us and not against us. And I want to accede to what Honorable Eames alluded to. What is not deniable is that in terms of the proceedings, we are very much behind. How do we mitigate that? The rule says at the commencement of the sitting, the rules also identify. No, the rules, no, we started. No. At the commencement of public business, Yeah. So now, no.
Of commencement of business. We are at the commencement of the day. You start with petitions, you go to questions, you come to motions, and then the business starts. We are right at the commencement of the business. Don't tell us any other English interpretation is wrong. We are at the commencement of the business of the day.
Okay.
Okay, so now, honorable member, you were just arguing, but
Okay,
he
now
has the floor
that
now
is,
to make his point.
That is the line of thought of Honorable
We will come to it.
Venani. And you see, one of the things is that we'll always have differences, but we must mitigate the differences in a tolerable manner. If you read and understand that way, I might also read and understand and develop a different understanding from the same reading, which you might construe as wrong, and I also construe yours as wrong. Now I'm saying there is only one way when there are issues. We can't vote on issues that are not allowable to vote. What?
Yeah. Honorable.
We apply the rules. And I said it at the beginning.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. As you said, Honorable Katamelo, that rules are meant to guide us and should not apply them selectively. And earlier today, we voted somewhere there in that big room there. With you, leading the process as well. Now we are here to decide also on this program, and we are trying to bring something different. And I stand on Rule 149 that says that after the presiding, 149. So, and I'm calling for a division for us to vote on the matter, Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, you are correct. We voted today in a storm. Interestingly, nobody is storming today. So, honorable member, can you continue? Yes.
Isn't it? Okay, thank you. Now I'm saying the times of the sittings of the House is mandated by the rules. And the rules further said if there is any ambiguity in terms of the interpretation of the House, the Speaker can make a ruling on the subject matter, and then that ruling of the Speaker stands until it's submitted to standing rules, so that we get a procedure as to say, how are we going to dispose of this increasing agenda? The rules, let me also say, we are all sinners. I'm not God, but we are all sinners, and we are selective sinners. We condone what is justifiable to us, and then if that is not justifiable to you, you then tend to quantify it. That's a reality. Now, where we are, Speaker, nothing of this nature has ever emanated. It is for you, in your rightful intention, to make a ruling about the extension or not, and then, I'm speaking, and then there are no provisions where and how. And we are saying the times of the extension.
Honorable members,
the times of extension. The time of extension is always granted, and it's also at a specific time. It is always during the budget. That is the only time when the time is extended. That's true.
Okay, honorable.
That is true. That is the
Can I say something, honorable members? Okay, honorable member, can you, just one moment, because I'm trying to get us to have a same understanding of one thing. Now, Rule 159 reads 1. It reads as follows. 159. It says, notwithstanding the provisions of Standing Rule 155.1, a member may, at the commencement of public business, without notice, make a proposal which must be decided without amendment or debate, namely, and then in quote, that the proceedings on, then they say dash dash. So I expect that somebody would say that the proceeding on the motion on what, ne? Naming the motion, in bracket, it says, naming the motion or the order of the day be in accordance with Standing Rule 159.1, not interrupted if it is still under consideration. Now, I'm now looking for clarity from the member that moved the motion. Is the honorable member having in mind a specific item on the agenda, or is the honorable member saying the entire order of the day of today, which, so you are saying that the entire order paper, we should consider it without, okay, so there was an objection, so let us call for a vote. So can we determine the quorum? Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Honorable member, I have already called the bell to be ringed. Ne? Are you making a point of order? Okay, make what?
I just want to understand, Speaker. Speaker, I just want to understand.
Okay, so in that case, if we have to come to this level, I will now. No, if we have to come to this level, we are standing like this.
Yeah,
I will call off the proceedings of the day for today. Yeah, so everybody must be seated. You must be seated. Yes, I can call it off. Sit down. I can call it off. Yes. Oh, very good. So the order of the day is